Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno, the founder of Real Men Real Style. Today I'm going to be giving you 7 tips on how to shop effectively this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Thanksgiving weekend. Alright, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. By doing that, these videos come right to you. In addition, if you like this, if you find this video useful, I would appreciate you clicking on the like button right below this video. In addition, right down there, you're going to find a link over to Real Men Real Style. You can go over there and get this entire article. You can read it right there. And if you're on my email list, you're actually going to get this article wrapped up as a PDF so you can read it on your smartphone when you're out there shopping this weekend. Okay, so why am I giving you these 7 tips? Many of you guys have been shopping your entire lives. You feel pretty comfortable doing it. Well, I'm a retailer. I own a custom clother, and I'm on the opposite side of the buyer, and I know many of the things we use to get people to buy. And if they're not used ethically, I think, I think it's my responsibility to let you know that you're going to see things like scarcity. You're going to see things like value propped up. You'll see a retail price and they say they're knocking it off 70% or 50% when really the item isn't even worth that amount of money still. Or you're going to have other herd mentality. You see this at big box stores where everyone rushes in and people are just grabbing things. This is where Black Friday gets really dangerous. Guys, I want you to understand, and I don't want you to have buyer's remorse come later on in the season and then find out you can't even return it, or you can only get an in-store credit, or worst case, you get stuck with something and you never wear it or you never use it. Okay, so I'm reading from the list. I didn't have time to memorize all this stuff, but the number 1 tip is whenever you go out there shopping, gentlemen, know what you're looking for. One of the things I preach and I talk about over at Real Men Real Style is that you need to understand what is in your core wardrobe. You need to understand what you need to own versus what would be nice to own but really isn't going to add much to your wardrobe. So that way when you're going out there shopping and you see a great deal, you don't just buy something because it's 70% off or 60% off or you think it'll look good on you. You actually purchase something because, gosh, it's on your list and you've created a list of what should be in your core wardrobe. So that's the number 1 thing, gentlemen, is know what you're going out to purchase, and that's what you should be going after. Now, this list can be as long as you want it to be. I would put it in a list. And one of the things I talk about in my style system is that you need to have this list and you need to have it not only broken out, but in a priority order. So if you already own a number of dress shirts, there's no reason to buy any more dress shirts, even if they're on sale. Instead, you should be looking for trousers because you've only got maybe 1 pair of nice dress slacks. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to talk about is to budget. And I'm not saying that you need to stick exactly, like say I'm only going to spend $100 today. No, that's not the kind of budgeting I'm talking about. I mean, you need to budget for individual items and know what their true value is. So let's take a really nice pair of jeans. Well, if you know that Levi's normally sell full retail for $50 to $60, the brand that you're going after, maybe you're looking at some 505s, so you know that they sell for $40. Well, when you know that, you're not going to fall into a store that says normally when you know they normally sell at $40, when the store says they normally sell at $60, their retail, and they mark them down by 50%. Well, that's only a $10 savings from that. You know that they should only be $40. Kind of see the math there, guys? Basically, when you know what the true value of something is and you budget for it, you'll be able to identify value when you truly see it. It doesn't matter what store you're at and looking across brands. So the same thing with a sports jacket. And why I don't want you to stick with a hard price is sometimes you're going to come across something and you're going to say, wow, this is a great deal. I wasn't necessarily looking for it. It was a little bit lower on my list, but I'm going to go ahead and jump on this because it's 70% off, and this is a sports jacket made by Zegna, or a company that consistently puts out good quality, and I'm going to go ahead and make the purchase. So, pulling up my notes here. Number 3, be able to identify quality. Now, how can you identify quality? Well, the first thing is you want to be able to make sure that it has to fit you. Not exactly quality for everyone, but if it doesn't fit you, it doesn't really matter. After that, look at the fiber, look at the feel the fabric. I was just looking again. I'll take jeans. I was in looking at different brands, and you want to, if you know you're going to be wearing these, if jeans are really, really thin, gentlemen, understand that denim is going to most likely wear out. Unless it's a higher end brand, it is probably means that they're on the cheap side and you want to avoid them. When it comes to jackets or sports jackets, be feeling the shoulders. Know that there is a difference between a brand that usually many of the brands that sell in Sears versus the brands that sell in Neiman Marcus. And understand that, a $200 jacket that you buy in Sears is not the same as a $200 jacket that is on sale from $500 that you're purchasing at a higher end store like Macy's or Barney's. Focus on fit. Okay, I jumped to it, jumped the gun on number 3, but if it doesn't fit you, gentlemen, and especially if you're over the age of 21, you're not going to grow into it. About the age of 21, we stop getting taller. We get a little bit wider after that. But make sure it fits you, because there's nothing you can do if there isn't going to be fabric in there, and you may think that you're going to lose those 10 pounds and that shirt is going to fit you really well when you lose that 10 pounds. Gentlemen, it's probably not going to happen. So focus on the fit. And my pages are getting stuck together here. Compare prices. Okay, so before you even go out there, and especially on Cyber Monday, you're going to be able to go quickly to websites and be able to compare prices. Don't get stuck on this entirely and realize that sometimes it's a bait and switch. Make sure to look at shipping costs as well. And it's my opinion that I would rather pay a little bit more and go with a good quality brand. After that, you're going to want to check the return policy. So make sure whenever you buy something that it can be returned. Many times, and they're not always going to tell us, but you'll just be able to get an in-store credit, or I've had some companies that, in a sense, you can't return it. So make sure that they've got a good return policy. Usually the larger big box stores have a good return policy. Amazon has an amazing return policy, but look at the final details there. And last is going to be coupon codes, discount codes. Pay attention to that stuff. There are many sites like dapper.com. I know, and there's a few other ones that they let people know about this stuff, but see if you can stack them on top of each other and if you can really build up the savings. But try to use that to your advantage. Gentlemen, be aware and realize that these sales are going to come and go. And don't go out there and purchase something and find out that you can't return it. Be smart. I prefer Cyber Monday over Black Friday, because I just don't like to be out there. But I can tell you I did a little bit of prep work. I'm in the market for a new pair of jeans, and I went out there and I tried on all the different types of Levi's over at JCPenney's earlier today. And I'm going to go on to Levi's.com probably tomorrow, maybe Friday. I'm going to look for a sale. I know exactly what size, I know exactly what style, and I know exactly what color. And I'm probably, I also have a good idea of the price because I went into the store and and by the way, I do go in and I support my local stores, but, do what you can to support your local stores, gentlemen. But also, I want you to get the best deal this holiday, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you want to learn more, by the way, about men's style, don't forget I've got a great premium ebook that is going to be totally revamped. It's actually going to be an entire website in itself. And I did a webinar just the other day, and I gave a lot of people an inside look at that. So a man's guide style, I'll link to it down below. Make sure to grab it before I knock the price up at the end of this year, which is going to happen because it's going to be really good. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.